Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Your future is shaped by what you do today. Be very careful of people whose words don't match their actions. Without self-confidence, you are like a bird without wings. The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. When you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. Trust but verify. Latinos are Republican, they just don't know it yet. It's true hard work never killed anybody, but I figure, why take the chance? Don't be afraid to see what you see. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans. Republicans believe every day is the 4th of July, but the Democrats believe every day is April 15th. I know in my heart that man is good, that what is right will always eventually triumph. And there's purpose and worth to each and every life. The best minds are not in government. If any were, business would steal them away. Each generation goes further than the generation preceding it because it stands on the shoulders of that generation. You will have opportunities beyond anything we've ever known. To sit back hoping that someday, some way, someone will make things right is to go on feeding the crocodile, hoping he will eat you last, but eat you he will. How can a president not be an actor? The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. We must reject the idea that every time a law's broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. It is time to restore the American precept that each individual is accountable for his actions. I've often said there's nothing better for the inside of a man than the outside of a horse. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. And how do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin. There are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. We must have the courage to do what we know is morally right. If we love our country, we should also love our countrymen. Man is not free unless government is limited. All great change in America begins at the dinner table. No government ever voluntarily reduces itself in size. Government programs, once launched, never disappear. Actually, a government bureau is the nearest thing to eternal life we'll ever see on this earth. Freedom prospers when religion is vibrant and the rule of law under God is acknowledged. Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. Government does not solve problems, it subsidizes them. Government is like a baby, an alimentary canal with a big appetite at one end and no sense of responsibility at the other. We will always remember, we will always be proud, we will always be prepared, so we will always be free. Peace is not absence of conflict, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave. Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. We are never defeated unless we give up on God. The best revenge to people who insult you is to live your life well and be happy. Welfare's purpose should be to eliminate, as far as possible, the need for its own existence. The problem is not that people are taxed too little, the problem is that government spends too much. Surround yourself with the best people you can find, delegate authority, and don't interfere as long as the policy you've decided upon is being carried out. Life is one grand, sweet song, so start the music. There are no great limits to growth because there are no limits of human intelligence, imagination, and wonder. My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you, I just signed legislation which outlaws Russia forever. The bombing begins in 5 minutes. Information is the oxygen of the modern age. It seeps through the walls, topped by barbed wire. It wafts across the electrified borders. Heroes may not be braver than anyone else. They're just braver 5 minutes longer. I have wondered at times what the 10 Commandments would have looked like if Moses had run them through the US Congress. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. It has been said that politics is the second oldest profession. I have learned that it bears a striking resemblance to the first. There are no constraints on the human mind, no walls around the human spirit, no barriers to our progress except those we ourselves erect. Democracy is worth dying for because it's the most deeply honorable form of government ever devised by man. Facts are stubborn things. Some people wonder all their lives if they've made a difference. The Marines don't have that problem. We should measure welfare's success by how many people leave welfare, not by how many are added. Recession is when a neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose yours. Before I refuse to take your questions, I have an opening statement.